Hello everyone, happy Sunday. I am very excited today. Excuse me, still not over this cold. Boots is joining me today. Hi everyone, I'm Booties and I like to cuddle. Isn't he just the cutest little monkey ever? He's been snuggling with me this afternoon. So a few of you come on. Thank you so much for watching on the replay, those of you who are just joining in later on. I'm so appreciative of you guys really, watching these and thinking that I'm providing you value. It's really awesome and it's something that I absolutely love doing. And the feedback that I've gotten from these videos is just superb. So thank you so much for the support and for always watching me. It really makes a huge difference in, knowing that my audience appreciates the message and that I'm not just speaking to the interwebs. But anyways, so me and Boots today, we're talking about delayed gratification. And delayed gratification is interesting. So it's part of the, when we set really big goals for ourselves, it's not like they're just going to happen overnight. It is quite realistic that it's going to be months, if not years, depending on how large and in charge that goal is, right? So for example, in 2013 and 2014, John and I purchased several investment properties where, we purchased them not to live in ourselves, but for rental potential and investment opportunity. And during that time period, I actually had to get my loan application, my place of employment that I had at the time, had to verify that I was employed there for my loan. And I remember getting, the paperwork faxed over to the office and talking to my manager about it, and he was required to sign, certain loan paperwork that acknowledged that I worked at the company and that I would be working there. And it was interesting because as we were going through the process of purchasing those properties, it was just completely beyond him. He could not understand why I was so interested in investing in something that I would not experience the gratification for years, right? I was purchasing an investment property that quite literally I would just be a passive income product, and I probably would not see the benefits of that fully paid off home for 30 plus years. And he could not really wrap his head around it. And as he was signing the paperwork, I remember him saying to me, "This is so weird. I don't understand why you're doing this." And I was like, "Delayed gratification." And he was like, "I just don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me." And I was like, "That's okay. It doesn't have to make sense. Sign the paper." But for me, it's all about delayed gratification. And so many of the goals that John and I set are totally embracing delayed gratification. It's so important when we're setting goals for ourselves that we don't get discouraged through the process in delaying that gratification. Yes, the light at the end of the tunnel, the achieved goal, basically when we finally reach whatever it is that we're striving towards, that is going to be incredibly gratifying to reach that. I know that. But delaying it, right? Putting in the work, putting in that due diligence, the efforts, and enjoying the journey, that's the important part. Because while we're delaying our gratification in terms of the big picture and really ultimately getting what we want, because we're playing that big of a game and our goals are this big instead of this big, of course there's going to be some level of delayed gratification. Because we cannot always just declare things and have them immediately happen. As much as we would like it to work that way, it's not the way it works. So, in huge goals that we experience delayed gratification with, I've learned that it's really important to fall in love with the journey in getting there. So, yes, that goal may seem super lofty, very stretchy, 5 years down the road, or whatever it looks like. And yes, our gratification of achieving that goal is delayed gratification, right? But what we get to understand and what we get to enroll ourselves in on a daily basis is the fact that the journey is just as awesome as that end goal. So as we're experiencing failures and roadblocks and things set up in our paths and earthquakes, tornadoes, and things that whip across the road that we're on, and people who come around and discount us, and failures, and all of the things that don't work on a daily basis as we look towards that really big goal, well, guess what? We get to fall in love with that journey of delayed gratification, because every single day that John and I are working towards those really big end goals, and sometimes, do not get me wrong, sometimes it's like, why is this not working? Oh my God, it's been like 2 months of straight efforts and failure after failure and breakdown. Yes, that is normal. We all have those days, and I have had them very often. But what we get to step into is knowing and being confident that the journey is just as gratifying as the end result. Because as we embark on this journey, as we step each and every day into what we want, it's continual learning. It's embracing everything that is available to us. It's learning from the failures. It's shifting from the breakdowns. It's breaking through the things holding us back. And that is incredibly gratifying on a daily basis. So while we get to delay our gratification of the true end goal and whatever that looks like, because knowing you who's watching, I can guarantee that you've got some really big goals. And if you don't, you get to make some. And if they're like a 2 or 3 year long goal, well, you don't need to just continually be denying yourself the gratification. Live in the daily moment and the daily experiences of that journey, because that's what's going to be really rewarding at the end. It's going to be the opportunity to be like, holy crap, F yeah, I finally reached this point, and look at the freaking journey it took to get me here. Because that's what's going to be gratifying at the end. That delayed gratification, that huge goal that you've set for yourself, the massive amount of effort, blood, sweat, tears, anger, anxiety, frustration, joy, all of those emotions that went into the daily experience of the journey to get to that goal, that's what's magic. And so, as much as my old manager couldn't understand why I was delaying the gratification that I had, why I was possibly taking like my lump sum of $25,000 and investing in a down payment of the house, like that wasn't resonating for him, because that's not how he experiences his gratification. For me, working every single day on that journey, that's what's gratifying to me. It's falling in love with the process, falling in love with the failures, and truly believing that all of these breakthroughs will lead, or breakdowns will lead to those amazing breakthroughs that are like, oh, at the end. So, I encourage you guys, if you are stuck in the process and you're having one of those days, you get to reach out to me and we get to chat about it and we get to shift, but also we get to recognize that each and every one of those days is contributing to how amazing and gratifying that end result will finally be. And so I encourage you guys to not lose hope and don't get discouraged, because we all have days where like we are literally just crawling into bed, putting the blanket over our head. Thanks for watching, John. You know I have those days. It's great to have John to hug when I'm having those days. Thanks for watching, babe. But yeah, we all have those days. So recognizing that that's totally normal, giving yourself the grace to feel that way when it happens, and the opportunity to shift out of it. You can give yourself a certain amount of time and then shift out of that shit, because it's not going to serve you to be in space for too long. So I hope that you have some amazing goals that you're delaying some gratification on, that are just going to be so freaking awesome. But as you're delaying that gratification, make sure you're appreciating every day of your journey, because it's really special, and there's literally never going to be another time where you get to be in this constant struggle and the constant failure and the constant roadblocks. It's an experience for sure, and you'll be so grateful in hindsight that you've had it. I love you guys. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your Sunday. I'm really excited because my mom gets into town tonight, so maybe she'll be on the next musing. Who knows? All right, you guys, have an amazing rest of your day. I'll talk to you soon.